Hello and welcome to the Football Man Cave. You are here with Ian and Lovey. So we're going to start with the usual. How are you?
How are you?
I'm
okay.
alright.
How are you?
Me and Lovey went out for my birthday, didn't we, last week?
Yeah.
And if you'd heard last week's podcast, you'd know that we found a little place in Manchester called Pixels. So you can rent a booth out. You've got like a big, 40-inch screen-ish? 40-inch
about
screen.
40-inch screen, yeah.
They've got like a locked box on the left hand side. They've got like a new, I don't know Xboxes, but the new Xbox, whatever that is, PlayStation 5 and a Switch. You rent out £8 an hour and play whatever you want. So obviously we're playing FIFA, so we've gone there, haven't we? And they put us in a proper tidy booth. Because last time we were like goldfish, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, we got put last time. So went for my birthday in December,
Yeah.
didn't we? And what we did was they give us a table. We got there proper early, so it opens at 4. We was there 10 to 4.
Like two giddy
Idiots,
kippers.
mate. And the mad thing is we was probably the oldest guys in there. Wait, it was my 40th birthday, so we was the oldest guys in there by a country mile. And we got there, and they put us at the table. They put us at a table right at the front door by the window. So when people was walking past, they could see these two old guys just playing FIFA.
What was funny as well was,
But you faced each other, but then
we were facing, like the screen was,
yeah.
the back of the screen was at the window, weren't it? So we were facing out.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see the hole that I put behind
No,
us, basically.
so everybody could see us, but we was and you kind of like the table was like as if you was going for a meal table.
Yeah.
But the computer was and the screen was at the side.
So
Like
like
if you're watching us,
45-degree
if
angle,
you're
weren't
watching us on YouTube, it was the screen was where you're viewing us from.
Yeah.
So, and then we'd play it, and you were just getting neck ache, hip ache, leg ache.
Yeah, because you constantly like
You was
switching about,
twisting your
moving.
body to the side. But then this time, they give us like it was like
Like an L-shaped one, weren't
yeah,
it?
like a booth where you could put your foot up and the screen was directly in front.
Yeah.
Mate, I could have been in there all day.
Well, and as well because we were this time at the back of it.
No one could see you. It was out the way.
It was there's no time, is there? So you just playing the like this. I feel this time in 2 hours that we booked when like click of a finger they were over, weren't it?
Yeah.
Because we were like, right, we'll do this. Because last time we were padding out for a time a bit, weren't we? Going,
Yeah.
But the other two still got 15 minutes left. This time we're going, shit.
Yeah. But we said, didn't we? Said this time what we'll do is we'll create like a Club World Cup or a Super League. And what we did was we put all the 5-star teams, 16 5-star teams, and we played every team. And we just pretty much played each other until all the teams got knocked out and then there was a final. So it was just one, not 2 legs, it was just 1 leg.
Yeah, straight through.
Just play each other. And what we did was we just scoured the world and we found all the... we tried to find all the 5-star teams, didn't we? But then, like your Mexican league, your Argentinian league, your MLS, anywhere in the Americas,
proper
and South
randoms.
Americas, we looked for players. We looked for teams around them areas, so we've got everywhere kind of covered. But it was good.
Some thing is, what I like about doing that is you find some random players.
Yeah.
So then you think career mode.
I'm just going to sign it.
When we did it once because we played play online.
Yeah.
And it's like the derbies are the big teams in every single league. And I think it was Anderlecht, and we found the right back. I can't remember what his name is now.
Yeah.
But he was off.
Yeah.
Fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy. But yeah, and he did. There was, mate. I've seen so many clips of that. You just threw me with that, like the dogs running around fast and stuff. But yeah, and
have you seen the original though of the guy?
Yeah. But and I think the good thing about doing that is you do unearth some proper good guys for your career mode.
Yeah.
We got it all the way down. And what was the final? Do you remember?
Oh, it was something mad. It was PSG versus.
It was a rascal team. Was it River Plate?
No, sure. I can't think. It was a mad team that you'd never put in. It was a Turkish one.
Oh yeah, it was. It was.
Was it Turkish? It was a
it was Galatasaray.
Yeah,
it was Galatasaray.
It was a proper.
And because we both
they knocked out City, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Galatasaray knocked out City. So, but we had to sim a couple of games, didn't we?
Yeah,
because we looked at the time and we had like half an hour left, and we had like we was into the quarters, the quarterfinals, weren't we? So we had to sim games, and the Galatasaray City game was one of the games that we simmed, and City got beat 4-3 off Galatasaray. What was funny about that is like we played with all the best teams, and like PSG are like a team possessed.
Oh, it was
so
mad.
smooth.
It was like they were dancing and ice.
Yeah, I've never played as them.
No, I've never played against them online. Basically, I always get dicks.
Yeah, and when I played you, I can't remember who you was first, but I think it was CSK Moscow, and everything was just easy.
Yeah.
Like I could see, like his fingers were burning. I could see that the pad was like getting
when you got PlayStation fingers, just a dancing.
The pad was getting hot, and everything was just effortless.
Yeah.
Like Messi, he was just turning on a sixpence. Like you just had to
move
it slightly.
I scored that goal, and it was literally Messi. Weren't
just
in and out.
Yeah.
And you were thinking, because we were watching, like obviously we've got PS4s.
Yeah.
The PS5 even off the ball.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how much difference there is between the two. He's still playing FIFA 22, but the plays are chunkier, the more realistic.
They ask for the ball and stuff, like they'll pass it and tell the player to go somewhere else. Like the detail is a lot. There's a lot more definition. There's a lot more detail in the game.
It was quick. It takes you about a game or two, doesn't it, to get used to it?
Yeah, because it's not. I think the gameplay's a bit slower, but it's a bit more like it's easier for you to win the ball back, and all the passes don't go to the player's feet and stuff like that.
What pisses me off the most nowadays, when you could shoot, and whoever's in front of you, you just go on target, cannon off knees and shoulders. The amount of times I pick a shot and I think, fucking hell, like, how was it hit someone? Because you should be able to shoot from anywhere, then you go on target.
Yeah.
Now, you're like, you've got to really get it, like, you think you've got a little space, and that's how good I think FIFA is. Like, you've got to have that.
Yeah, do you know what I think as well? Like, people that have not played it for years, they have an opinion of FIFA. Based on what it was like, a while ago.
They didn't progress.
But they'll look at it, or they'll look at the advert, and the advert, like, it's all right. It's saying it's got more realistic movements, and which it has.
Yeah.
But if you're not invested in it anymore, you don't care.
No.
I don't listen to that. And like a good friend of mine, he was like, it's the first one. It's the first. I think I said this last week.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've got it, and like it feels different.
Yeah.
Like, there's
you
something about
can
it.
feel the gameplay, can't you?
Yeah.
Even we're going to chat later about our career modes. What I was playing. I'm in the year 2031, and Raheem Sterling's playing for Napoli. Left hand side, mate. They've got him down to a T. Like honestly, if it weren't FIFA, I'd be like, I'm watching Sterling.
Yeah, the way he runs,
the way he moves,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ronaldo's the same.
Yeah.
If you watch Cristiano Ronaldo on it, he runs the same. He's got the same like.
It was mad.
Yeah.
It pissed me off, to be fair. I'm glad he got subbed off. Right, we're gonna get going with Lovey's Tales. I'm proper excited about this one. So I'd seen something last week, because I'm always pinging shit over to you.
Yeah.
And I'd seen Edgar Davids, and I thought, mate, like, I forgot all about Edgar Davids. You remember him from the Nike adverts, like with the glasses, and he played for Spurs. But then you said there's like a massive hole that you could get into with Davids.
Like with Davids, you could probably. I mean, it's good that you put him on to me, because he's probably one of my all-time favourite players.
Is it?
Yeah, he is, and I think it's as a player. Like more, and I'm probably more the early times. Like he's from Juventus is when I discovered him.
Yeah.
When he was at Juventus, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Yeah, like.
Wasn't he at Ajax before that?
He started his career at Ajax.
Right.
But like,
it was him and Seedorf, weren't it?
Him and Seedorf playing in the centre. It was when Ajax was dominant as well, like unreal. And I just remember him going to Juventus.
By the way, the Ajax team.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Yeah. But
it's unreal. Look at it now.
It made me think. I was thinking a minute ago then, like the career that you could do on FIFA around Ajax.
Yeah.
Because there was like a big hitter, wasn't there, for
Yeah,
years, European
huge.
giants and stuff. The Juventus times I was like, wow, this guy's I think he's played for Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, like he's been everywhere, hasn't he?
AC Milan as well.
I think that was Seedorf. I think Seedorf did Inter and AC, but I think Davids did Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, and then he come to England and played at Tottenham, and then he went somewhere else. But like with his antics, it's a bit like Balotelli as an eccentric individual.
Yeah.
I think that when I first twigged that when he got them glasses, that's when everybody was like, "Wow, who's this guy playing with glasses on?" He's got the long dreads in a ponytail. He's got glasses, like he just looked the part. But it's the manager stuff. And I remember you saying like Barnet. Me and a friend of mine used to laugh about Edgar Davids at Barnet, right? And we used to proper crease because. Do you remember Kes, the film?
Mate, it was on Saturday.
So the film Kes, when the scene where he's in PE and he's playing football.
Yes.
And
we're literally talking about this with my dad just today.
If you've not watched Kes yet, it's just, and you don't want to, just watch the one scene I'm talking about.
The football scene.
The football scene. Just type it on YouTube.
One,
and the teacher, he rocks up in a full England kit, shinnies the lot, and all the kids are there. He's got the red England kit from the World Cup winning '66 side.
Brilliant.
And he walks on the pitch and he goes, right, pick your team. I'm picking one team. Makes Kes pick another team, or another lad pick another team. And he goes, I'm Bobby Charlton. Yeah. We're England. You're whoever the hell you want to be. And he took the penalties, the free kicks. He's the ref. He blows the whistle. He stops the game. That's Edgar Davids at Barnet. Edgar Davids rocked up at Barnet in his second season when he got relegated into the conference. He gave himself number one and wanted to. and me and my mate used to just laugh. Like, how have you got the audacity to make yourself number one? Takes it off the keeper, gives himself number one, and plays in the midfield. And he wanted to change that number so that the number one is centred around your centre midfielder. Yeah, wow. your playmaker, which obviously didn't work because people are still wearing 10.
Yeah.
But I've took a bit. I can't credit the reports based on, because I've got it from about 3 or 4 different sources, and I probably should have gone, this bit's from that and this is from whatever, but whoever it's from, it's tickled me half of it. So the opening line of one of the articles that I read was, the road signs dictated you could only turn right. So this is based on when he first joined at Barnet, right? And there was one road. I'll read it. The road signs dictate that you could only turn right out of Barnet's training ground because it was a one-way street. Edgar Davids would point his car down the lane, and it was a bus lane, and he incurred fines for turning left each day. But for him, traffic restrictions in North London were merely just suggestions. So he just was like, this is a quicker way for me to get home.
I'm just going to chip down here.
He's got to Barnet's ground, and he's gone, what, so I have to go all the way round to get home, which is an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to park in that bus lane. I'm not going to even park in the ground parking. And then we get in my car, I'm going to drive down the bus lane, down the one-way street the wrong way. And then I'm going to go home, because I get home quicker. And he'd incur fines, but he'd just pay him, and he wouldn't be bothered.
Yeah, nothing to him, would he?
Yeah. So that's the first bit of an article that I read, and I thought, just that little bit tells you all you need to know about Edgar Davids the footballer and Edgar Davids and this is while he was a manager, by the way, right? So how can he enforce rules
if he's just doing what he wants?
And then Barnet's director of football at the time, Paul Fairclough, knew such behaviour was typical of Davids. He's his own person. No one's going to tell him what to do, and he did that. I remember I can't remember what European competition it was, but all the players fell out. The Dutch team was the favourites to win it.
Yeah.
They all fell out with each other. Davids was
the Euros, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. Davids was like the main guy. I think he ended up going home, and stuff like that, and never playing for him again.
That was I'm sure it was mid 2000s.
I think it was. I think it was the year when Bergkamp scored that unreal goal outside of the foot, I think. The Dutchman appeared to call time on his decorated playing career 2 years earlier at Crystal Palace, because he must have had a few stints about it. So I don't remember that he played for Crystal Palace.
I vaguely remember the Crystal Palace one.
I remember Tottenham, and I remember that he loved London that much he didn't want to leave.
Didn't go Scotland?
I'm not too sure, you know. I think that he
just never thought that he went Celtic. Go on,
no,
you keep talking, I'm going to...
Yeah, well, it says Crystal Palace, it ended at Crystal Palace. But since developing a reputation, this will make you laugh, but after retiring from Crystal Palace, I'm having to just get a breath just to tell you this, because it's funny. After quitting and stopped playing after Crystal Palace, he's since developed a reputation around London, cropping up at amateur five-a-side games and turning up to play for anyone.
Here's my boots, mate.
So Edgar Davids is just rocking up and went, who can I play for? Mate, play for us. You're not playing today.
Imagine it.
You're not playing today, mate. Get out.
Have boots, will travel.
And then it says, his continued appetite for the game was indisputable, and his experience from 74 international caps and honoured medals across Europe's big leagues just didn't mean nothing. He just loved playing football. Didn't turn up anywhere five-side. Since 2010, Davids had been living in North London. This is where it gets just funny. with his parents. With his partner, sorry, not his parents, with his partner, and he'd been participating in street football all around London. So he's just turning up playing street football.
And he had skills, though, didn't he?
Yeah. But like, you would have just imagine that we're just playing in the yard with a few of the lads, and then he just turns up at soccer pro leagues and goes, "I'm playing."
Yeah.
And even if he's older, he'd still have all the ability.
Have you got your subs, mate?
Yeah, I need that fiver. It said. As well as managing a Sunday League amateur side, Brixton United. So from 2010 to 2012, he managed the Sunday League football team after retiring from football, just because he loved football so much.
Just on Brixton Fields.
Yeah, he must have been playing five-a-side with him that much. He must have gone, why don't you just play for us?
Yeah.
He's gone,
oh man.
Yeah, you know what, I will do. 11th of October 2012, Davids joined Barnet, League 2 side at the time, Barnet, as player manager role or player coach alongside Mark Robson. The next day on his managerial debut, they lost 4-1 at Underhill to Plymouth Argyle, with Davids leaving himself out of the squad and just watching the game. They followed the next game up in his debut with a 4-0 win. He played the full match, captained the team, being voted man of the match. In November he stayed. I mean, I don't know his ages around these times, which would be interesting to know. He started against Morecambe and he got beat 4-1 near the end of December 2012. Following the departure of Robson, Davids took over as the sole player manager. Scored his first goal for Barnet in 2013.
Barnet.
Was it?
Yeah.
Scored his 2013 a 2-0 home victory at Southend United. In March 2013, on the return journey from the defeat at Accrington Stanley, he sent a coach back to pick up 36 supporters whose coach had broke down to take him to the next service station to enjoy having drinks and food with him. So he got off the coach and went, "What, it's broke down? Right, leave us at this services, go pick them up, bring them here.
Yeah.
We'll all get on it." He got beat as well. Despite initially guiding Barnet to the foot. Despite initially guiding Barnet to the foot of the League 2 table and lifting them just off the relegation zone, Barnet dropped back in, and then at the end of the season they got relegated. And then he started, let's have a look, he started in the conference. I'm not going to read all that, but it just says they got beat off Wimbledon, Fleetwood won, and that kind of stuff. He started the 13-14 season in Conference Premiership, the Conference Premier. In July 2013, Davids announced that his decision to wear the number 1 shirt for the 2013-2014 season, a shirt number traditionally worn by goalkeepers, saying that he intended to set a trend of midfielders wearing the number 1 shirt. Discipline was a majority of his problems in that season. He was booked each of his first 8 league games of the season for fouling, fighting and arguing with referees.
He loved it, didn't he?
Yeah. And sent off 3 times as well. So in 8 games, he was booked in every one of those 8 games, and he was also sent off 3 times. That's mad, that.
It's a mad start, that.
Yeah, there was controversy when it emerged that he would not attend away games that required any overnight stays because he couldn't be bothered, leaving the assistant manager in charge of the club.
You've been promoted, lad, going off your pop.
That was like me going to Wales.
Yeah.
I'm not playing away matches, but I only play at home, remember?
It is, same age as well.
Same age, yeah. Davids considered retiring from football after being sent off for the 3rd time in the season at Barnet's 2-1 defeat by Salisbury City. David resigned from his post as the manager. In 2014, South East Counties East Football League side Greenwich Borough announced that he was about to come in as the chairman, but that didn't happen. That ended up being unsuccessful. He then took over in January 2021 Olhanense in the south of Portugal,
right,
in the first division, so not the Premier Division, in their first division. And I think he then managed a team in Holland. Yeah, it was. He managed a team in Holland called, let me see, Telstar. He was the assistant manager, coaching that team in their first division before he took over Olhanense. He was at Olhanense up until July 2021. So he took over in January 2021, all the way till July 2021. The maddest thing is about all of that, right? And some of the mad things that he did and how eccentric he was. I'm reading his manager statistics record. So for Barnet, he played as a manager 68 games, won 25, drawn 18, lost 25, with a percentage of 36.8%. At a team that was failing. That was probably didn't have no money.
Like a 1 in 3.
Falling down the leagues, not too bad. And then for Olenense, he played 18, won 8, drew 5, lost 5, 44.4%, right? He left there, obviously because he was an head the ball, and he just would have lost his head. And there was another article that I read, and on the score, and on that, who is it? Gareth Fuller. I'm just looking at it now. The tagline and his title that he's put for this article was, "He made people cry inside Edgar Davids' wild coaching stint." So I think that because he was that aggressive, like Olenense let him go. But his record, 44.4%, won 8, lost 5, drew 5. That's not a bad ratio to get sacked in 6 months of being at the club. But I think that probably the funniest and the most thing about it is that it's Edgar Davids. He does what he wants.
He's literally whatever he wants to do. That's how.
Mate, that number one thing where he's just gone, you know what? I'm Bobby Charlton. I'm having the number one shirt. I'm going to revolutionise the whole of midfield, and all midfielders are going to wear number 1 from now on. They're not wearing 8. They're not wearing 10. No. They're wearing number 1.
What position do you play number 1?
Captain, took all the penalties, took all the free kicks.
Yeah, that's mad. I've just got his career up. Listened to this for a list of teams. It made me pissed. So starts at Ajax, goes to Milan, AC Milan, goes Juventus, Barcelona on loan, Inter Milan, Spurs, back to Ajax, Crystal Palace for 6 games, finishes his career at Barnet. It's like there's not even like starting at the top and slowly you've gone like Inter Milan, Ajax, Spurs, and then basically Barnet, like just out of nowhere. Yeah. Usually you'll decrease, won't you? And you have a couple of random teams.
Mate, it's mad, and his honours he's got some ridiculous honours. Like if I'm just looking at like his what he's won. So for Ajax, he won the Eredivisie 1, 2, 4 times, the Cup twice, Johan Cruyff Shield. He won the Champions League once. This was for Ajax. UEFA Cup once, UEFA Super Cup once, International Cup once, Serie A. Won that 1, 2, 3 times. Supercoppa Italia, won that twice. Inter Milan, Coppa Italia, and then Holland to finish 4th in the '98 World Cup, where there was tipped as one of the favourites. They never really did that good, Holland, did they?
No.
Like Holland
was a nearly team.
I think Holland are a little bit like a better England around the times. So that you had a load of star-studded players who you look at the squads and you're like, mate, they should be winning something, and they never won anything because of the politics within the club, like, or within the country. Like Holland, it was all egos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas in the England national side, it was cliques.
Yeah.
Like if you play for United, you just stayed with United.
United,
Whereas
Chelsea, Arsenal, and all that.
Holland was just like, do you remember Pierre van Hooijdonk? Like, so guys like that in the squad.
And he'd be a good name to do a tail on, because he just fucked off from Forest.
Yeah, just left. Yeah, I'm not playing for you anymore. So did an interview, full-blown interview, saying, I might even do that next week.
Yeah.
I might do a Pierre van Hooijdonk, because I remember he had a stint at Celtic and he was unreal. And
I remember him at Celtic.
Yeah, but at Forest he was unreal as well. He was good everywhere he went.
Yeah, I was listening to
Roy Mackay, another one.
Yeah.
He was unreal. I think he's the assistant manager at Rangers at the minute. But yeah,
there's loads. When you get into it, and I think nowadays there's none of them at the balls about, is there?
No, there's not.
Do you know what I mean? There's no Mavericks. There's no like loose cannons.
I think you consider the problem now. Whereas people like
look at Jack Grealish went out, got pitched of the week. Everyone's going up and down.
When Gaza did that, everyone buzzed.
Yeah.
Check Gaza having a night out with the lads.
Happy days.
It was funny you say that because I watched the Rooney documentary.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I watched the Rooney documentary and he talked, and everybody that's managed, coached or played with him all say very similar stuff. Like he was that street kid that was on the edge every time. Yeah. If you took that out of his game, you've not got that player. Do you know what I mean? And I think that because that's coming out, because now it's not this kid's got. He's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
When you put him on the pitch and he'll win the game for us. It's like, no, let's rein that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
and
it's
all robotic in it now, and like literally, it's like a conveyor belt of people, of footballers, and like it's like the old remember the Some Shady video?
Yeah.
And they'll just fall off.
A conveyor belt of footballers, of athletes.
Yeah.
That are all right, can do a job. Do you know what I mean?
But no personality about them. which is what we like about non-league.
Yes, yeah,
and I always, when I speak to people in non-league, they always call it proper football because it's like a throwback, innit? You go and watch non-league football, it's proper tackles. Like you'd look at a tackle and you go, that's a red, and referee will go, play on, lad.
Even the refs have got something about them,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they know they could turn up and have to get in a fight.
Yeah, because literally you're like 2 yards away from aren't you, really?
Yeah.
At linesman, that's so obviously you played non-league.
Yeah.
And we were chatting before about how more professional non-league's getting. I was chatting to a manager in the national, not Northern Cowards. What league is it? Northern Prem. Sorry, Northern Prem. Yeah. He sent me over his basically like analysis. He said, "Have a look at this," because we were talking Moneyball at the time. And mate, I was shocked at how in depth like it goes. It's not just like Sunday League, like rock up 4-4-2. It's a big lad. Mate, it's like if 6 does this movement, then 11 and 9 you're here, 7 you're there, and it was like the patterns of play in it were unbelievable for every single scenario. If 4 passes to 6, then 11 you make this run, 4 like 5 you come over here, and
that's exactly what a pro club does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's now starting to filter down because of the technology that we can have at hand, because our phones are so good. Like the team I play for, we get sent very similar stuff to that. So we get sent videos around patterns of play, what we're going to do at training. So you get sent what training is going to be on a Tuesday, Thursday. This is training. This is the pattern of play that we should do when we're in this situation. We've noticed, because nearly every team films the games now. So we've noticed in X amount of games.
Well, even down to Manchester Pro. I've
seen
VO. I think VO. VO.
Yeah.
Who've like technology, you put it in place, it just follows the ball.
Yeah.
And the filming.
So even down into amateur football now, that's what people are doing. And what they do then is they study it, they put it in the WhatsApp group, so they put it in a group, and they go, watch this. This is where we're getting caught. So we get caught because this person dwells on it too much. What we need to do is, when we are in this position, in this situation, instead of just lumping it into the channel, let's just go, practice that pattern of play, and then even though it's on a wet, cold, horrible Tuesday or Thursday night after you've worked.
Yeah, how was your training last week?
Horrible. After you've worked like an 8-hour day, 8-9-hour day, you'll go and do that, and then instead of doing what you enjoy, getting on a ball and skinning people and trying to score goals and doing shooting practice or whatever, you just it's repetition of that pattern of play. And once you do that and do that and do that, you notice then on a Saturday, Jesus Christ, we've just done that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's
muscle memory, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as close to what professional clubs do on a daily basis. But
just
what you've
tailored
got
a little bit.
It's limited
real life
because you've only got 2 days a week to work on it, and you can't focus on it fully and have that imprinted in your mind like a playbook to go through, because you've got life and you've got work and you've got everything.
I think you find it harder as well because obviously non-league, like there's no stability within clubs, is there?
In terms of people staying,
transfers and stuff like that, like you can start with an 18 and by the end of the season completely different 18 because of the turnover in it, like, and you get offered a 5 or more, you're off.
I think that plays a massive factor, but like I said, with work and stuff, like people can't turn up every week. I think also, and which is probably an even bigger reason for why, is that the emotion, the intelligence, the football intelligence to study that, take it in, and then
do it,
and then implement it in what you've got to do. It's a miles away. You'll notice when you're playing at amateur or semi-pro level, you'll notice the ones that have played at pro clubs before, because they'll study it. Like the reason why, for me, I think the reason why they've put it onto apps now and they're letting players watch it before they turn up and do it, because I've been at clubs where you go into training and the coach, who's a high level coach, UEFA licensed coach, top class, sessions unreal, he'll talk you through the session and 4 of you will pick it up. The rest of you will just not know what they're doing. And then it'll take him 25 minutes to talk you through what you've got to do, and then you do it and everyone's like, this is crap, this is boring. It's not that it's crap, it's that they've not got the intelligence to do that. And I always say, you know me, I'll always let somebody know, but I've always said then to the coaches and the managers, like, maybe that can't work here because of the intelligence of the players that we've got. We sometimes, and I mean, I'm going against everything that I'm about really, because I feel like you can coach everybody. Like it's not. I don't like that saying of teaching old dog new tricks and all that, but I think everybody can be coached if they're willing to be coached.
That's the thing, they're willing to accept it.
Yeah. But with amateur and semi-professional football, there's a big chunk of that, whereas there's people just haven't got the intelligence to sit there, listen, take it in, and run through it slowly. Because you know it's like the difference between, even though we say professional football and the Premier League is the fastest league in the world, the semi-pro football is fast. And it's fast because people don't settle down and stop. And
frantic in and out of time.
Yeah, that's the best word to use. It's frantic. Like I've played, like I've been at one club, I've come to another club now in the second half of the season, and the standard is massive. The difference in standard is massive. Because of the project, the reason why I've moved, but the difference in the standard, and I played that, was it not this week but the week before, I played and I stood there and the game was just, like you said, frantic. I stood and just watched, I was just looking around thinking, it's been 10 minutes, I've not touched it.
No.
And it's just been...
Slow down.
It's just gone boom, 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 but like forward, backwards, up in the air, down, forward, backwards, up in the air. When somebody
that's because it's football with no plan, right?
Exactly. And when somebody gets it, they don't put the foot on it and start again. Or like, it has to be, it feels like it has to be, everything has to be like, get it forward and try and get a goal. Do you know what I mean? And then, and it doesn't work like, but when they get tired, because they do, right, at that level, they get very tired very quickly.
Yeah, half of them are still skinned up from the night more as well, aren't
they? Then you can start to go, right, let me get on it now. Start to dictate the game a little bit. But you're 100% right. The technology and that is coming into the game, and I think it's only going to help younger players. I mean,
I think it's going to go further and further down the line, because I think Macclesfield, I don't know anything about Macclesfield, but I presume, obviously with their project and money, that they'll be using top analysis. Then you've got probably like Bury, division below, and then so from there for us, obviously we're in Manchester, so that's North West counties. Then you go in Saturday League, Manchester Prem. After that, and like, where does it stop? I think it stops more so where people can't be arsed. So like the old days when I used to play Sunday League football, I did Saturday and Sundays. Well, Sunday League football just turn up. Probably fucking hungover to high death. Just rock up, probably have a scrap, kick the ball about, and go and piss all day. And that was it. And I think whenever you get to that level, and I think it's going to start filtering down, because the pitches are, like, even at Manchester Prem, I was covering for the MBN years ago, doing like write-ups, and I used to follow my local team, Haywood St James round, and some of the stadiums, I went to one, my first match I went to, Everton LR. They had a full stand. I was like, whoa! I was just expecting rails around like a ground, which, to be fair, there was some of them. But that one like blew me back, and then so I think it's where the professional meets to like the standard of footballer once you hit that. But I feel like it's going to progress, because even a lot of my mates are coaching young kids. They're coached
properly.
And I think that's when they start to come through, and it's old guard as such. When that transition.
Well, it's clever. It's funny you say that, because you could then start to implement getting them to watch videos of what they're going to do in a session. If you do that early, then by the time they're 12, that's all they're going to know. So then when they come to a amateur side or a semi-pro side, and they go, there's the session, study it, because this is what we're going to do on the day, then it's a lot easier. The systems that they're using, and stuff like that, like, so the current team that I'm at, they use something called Spond, which has all of it's pretty much like it's like a social media platform, I'd say. But what it does is it'll say when the trainings are, the times, where it is, where all the so the manager's not having to chase people down on text or WhatsApp. It's pretty much, this is the game, these are the things, who's available, who's not. They get the data then, and then they can set their session up based on the numbers that they've got. So even down to the running of that, it's starting to be a bit more professional. Do you know what I mean?
It is mad though, and I do think obviously when the kids now come through in over 10 years' time, because they're so used to phones, it'll just be normal. And I do think you're going to see But it's a good and bad thing. You'll see more professionalism down the line, but at the same time, you're going to get that, as we've been talking, there's that conveyor belt of just patterns of play. There's like it's drilled into them again from early doors, isn't it? So there's no one like a Rooney who's just going to come
eccentric.
in. Yeah. So no, I think football's going to get boring, but I just think there's going to be no characters.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I think the coaches has got to play a massive part in that.
Yeah.
And at the, like I said, at grassroots, at low level football, you've got to allow somebody to. If there's a kid that's a little bit rough around the edges, keep that in his game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well, it is a prime example. Dele Alli. I'll say Dele Alli to you, and you tell me what you think of him as a footballer.
Yeah, well that's it.
What do you think of him as a player?
I like him.
Yeah,
I like him, but
you've gone flipped to what I thought you would say. Most people say he's dog shit, right?
No, I like him, but he didn't have that full potential.
I was going to say after Pochettino left, what people have come in and tried to do is simmer him down. Because if you remember when he come from MK Dons, and even when he was
he shut up as well,
even when people was watching him at MK Dons, people was like, look at this kid that just doesn't give a shit and he's rough around the edges and he just wants to go.
Remember that season? He was a baller.
When he come to Tottenham,
yeah,
Pochettino was like, mate, keep that edge.
Just do what you do.
Keep that edge. People have drilled it out of him. Like when he signed for Everton, he's turned up on his first game to be presented to the fans in his normal gear.
Yeah.
And he got tore to pieces.
I know, yeah.
Like for being just for expressing himself in the way he dresses.
It's mad, isn't it?
Mate, and that then subconsciously, again, and then he plays his first game, and he's already now just doing simple passes.
Yeah.
Like I remember that goal against Crystal Palace where he flicked it over his shoulder and smashed it. He would never try anything like that now.
No.
It's been drilled out of him.
Yeah,
like,
he'd get it, pass it short, wouldn't he?
Yeah, let him just be.
And that's football. That's at a high level, isn't it? Like you've got to play this certain way. Like there's no one. You can't have a bit of a rogue in there that you don't really know what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. That's why I think England as a national team will never win anything because our press get on the cases of the footballers that are standalone or eccentric or a bit rough around the edges. They get on the cases and they ruin them. And
I would just think, why do you care?
But yeah, exactly. But back in the day, they loved Gazza.
Yeah.
They loved him.
Yeah,
like, and the more stupid stuff he did, the more they buzz off it.
Yeah.
These days, they're too quick to say, "Oh, he's an issue."
And then on the flip side of it, be kind.
Yeah.
Take care of everyone. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But he's a knob.
Yeah.
Look how he's dressed. Look at his hairdo.
But if you look at Brazil, Neymar as an example, I've watched his documentary in the last week or two.
Have you?
The best one. The best documentary.
Has it got subtitles?
Loads.
You'd
probably be able to turn it. You'd probably be able to turn the translation so voices speak as well. But yeah, like Squid Game, when it's just bad actors doing the voices, so it just makes the show crap. But yeah, just watching an insight into him. Like I seen somebody do a poll the other day on Instagram about who's the most underrated footballer in current time, and I can't remember who most people said, but Neymar wasn't even in the offering, and I was like, mate, it's Neymar all day long. It's Neymar.
He gets so much shit. We watched. We went out last week then with PSG.
Yeah.
Madrid.
Yeah.
And mate, it's like, come on.
It just changed the game like that, and he's been injured for 6 months or something. Yeah. But in that documentary, do you remember when he was playing for Brazil and he was favourites at their World Cup that was at Rio?
Yeah.
And he bossed it, he was scoring goals for fun, he bossed it. Then that guy hit him in the back, and he snapped 2 vertebrae in his back, fractured 2 vertebrae in his back. The documentary follows all of that.
Was it?
Mate, he couldn't walk. The doctor says to him, like on camera, like he says, "Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news?" So he was like, "Well, give me the bad news first." He said, "You're not going to play in the rest of the World Cup." So he started crying. You know how passionate Brazil is. South Americans in general.
I remember him just singing anthem beforehand.
Yeah. So he was bawling, and then he went, "So what's the good news then?" Because in his head he's like, "I'm winning a World Cup here, I'm the best player."
Yeah.
He went, "So what's the good news?" He said, "The good news is if that would have happened, that fracture would have happened 2 millimeters to the right, you won't walk again."
Wow.
And then he had to do rehab. He was in a wheelchair for like 3 months. But we don't see that.
No.
Because he kept it all in house behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And then he's come back and still dominated football by the way. But because he dives a little bit, because he wants to express himself, because he's got mad hair, because he does whatever he wants.
He's out from the norm, and that's what people don't like him.
People and he does do stupid stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he left Barcelona at the height of what Barcelona was doing in probably the best forward three the history of football has ever seen. And then he's gone to he went to PSG because he wanted to be the main man. But then he was at PSG and wanted to go back to Barcelona, like so.
So then he started bringing the Barcelona people in.
Well, that's what they've done, and he's signed till 2025. But he's like that's the prime example. Like look at the South American side. There's so many eccentric people, and the nationality, the nation gets behind that type of individual because they know they'll lead them
and
to
that's
greatness.
what Brazil's always been about, to be fair, isn't it?
Maradona,
yeah.
Argentina, like mate, the guy was a coked up madhead.
Yeah.
But you get him on a pitch and he'll win games for you because that's what he does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's what he's passionate about. We hold people back way too much, which is why I think because you always need a standout, eccentric individual to take you to greatness. You do. Don't matter what it is. Unless you're German, unless it's a German side, which is just an well-oiled machine. You don't need an eccentric. But they've had a few, haven't they? Klinsmann, Lothar Matthäus.
Yeah.
They've had a few not rights.
Speaking of Germans, I've seen this thing on social media, Simon Jordan, going on about Pep
He's a nugget in by
Pep versus Klopp. Was it how much money per point?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So say like Pep's, I don't know the figures.
Based on the money spent,
how much they've spent, how many points they've accumulated in it. It turned out I think Klopp's fucking like £2 a point or something like that, and Pep's a billion. But then we were talking, weren't we? Like, what would you deem? Like, if you was, for me, I'm a United fan. If nobody's a Man United fan, if you're not aware, for me, as soon as Fergie left, Pep was the one for me.
Yeah.
He was on a sabbatical at the time as well, and I think out of any of them, we've had Jose Mourinho, we've had Van Gaal, we've had fucking all sorts of shit. But honestly,
remember when he fell down on the free kick?
he was a fucking nutcase as well.
He was.
But I would have chose Pep still now over absolutely anybody. I love what he did with Barcelona. Look at that Bayern Munich side he did. Look what he's done at City. Like for me, all day Pep. But everyone tries to compare Pep versus Klopp because realistically, over these past couple of years, that's the United Arsenal of now, isn't it? Like again, City dropped points this weekend, and the Liverpool game in hand, so you got a bit of an exciting title race. So we were looking at the honours. So it's crazy, right? Jurgen Klopp at Borussia Dortmund and at Liverpool, 8 trophies, right? Versus Pep, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, City, up to now, it'll be 30 trophies. I've got 20. This article I've got here is up until a year ago, and he won the League Cup and the Premier League in the last year. So that's mad that like they're even in the same category, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because of he's like 3 times as more. But if we narrow it down to Liverpool versus City and the times, even that Klopp's only won. I know what you were saying, but he's only won 4 trophies, and 2 of them I know we've won them as well, but I don't really count me. I'll be honest with you. The Super Cup is like a European Community Shield for me, and the Club World Cup is just a weird one.
I like them, mate.
I know.
You knew I was going to say it,
But I found that World Club Cup one. I mean, I might be wrong here, but I can't remember a non-European team not winning that.
No, I think there's been a couple, but like
and an English team always wins it.
Yeah, because they're better.
Yeah.
Now at the moment,
That's like Community Shields for me. You can't. They're just one-off matches. You can't. I think for me, Premier League, your cups, and like European cups, those are the ones. I don't think like Chelsea. Fucking world champion.
I seen on Sky, one of the shows on Sky Sports. Like it wasn't Soccer AM, it was another one, and they was talking about these 2 guys, and they were saying like, which honours would you rather have based on the City Liverpool? So like not any of the other jobs that they've had, just based on the time that they both spent in the Premier League together.
Yeah.
Whose trophy cabinet would you prefer to have? Would you prefer to have Jurgen Klopp's, where he's won Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup, World Club Cup, or would you prefer to have Pep Guardiola, where he's won? I think he's won in the time. Is it 2
3 Premier Leagues?
3 Premier Leagues. It's 8 trophies, isn't it? 3
Premier Leagues, 1 FA Cup. Because it's got pictures of the cup. Don't tell me.
3 Premier Leagues, 1 FA Cup. 3 Carabao Cups.
And they've included Community Shields,
right?
Actually.
Yeah.
So we'll discount them.
Yeah, it's cool. So is that 7 then? So 7, and the question was, which trophy cabinet would you prefer to have?
Yeah, the dominant English one or the broad European one.
So like for me, like I'm a City fan. If nobody knows, I'm a Manchester City fan, and for me,
and it might have to say that because like say someone in London's like, well, what United?
yeah, I'm a Manchester City fan. So what I would say is that what I would prefer to have would be what Klopp's would. I would prefer I'd prefer to have a Premier League title, then a Champions League title. Because like, you know what my take is on the Champions League. It should only be the champions of each league playing in it anyway, which then makes it more of a prestigious thing to win. And then I think that then if you did that in every country all over the world, then the Club World Cup would be massive, because then it's the champion of every continent that's won the Champions League are playing in that. That should be the biggest trophy in my eyes. I know that a lot of people will be like, it's the FA Cup, but it's the longest serving cup in the world, so the FA Cup should be the one that everybody should be playing for. Like, I get that, but for me, if you've won the Champions League,
you're elite, you're number one.
Yeah, if you've won that, and that's what you should be aiming for as a football player, to be the best of the best all the time. Ferguson made United unreal because we win the Premier League, we go again. We win the Champions League, we go again.
Well, you hear the stories now as well. Like they never celebrated, did they? It was like right, sweet.
On to the next one.
Let's.
And I feel the same for I know you said the Super Cup's like a community shield, and it is because it's before all the tournaments start. But again, it's the champions of.
If we won it though, it'd be best.
Yeah, exactly. It's the champion, and you did it. You did it that time, did you? When you won the Europa League, and you got spanked. But it's the winners of the Europa League versus the winners of the Champions League. Again, if the Europa League was, if you finish second in the
I was going to say runners up only,
that would make it a lot more of a cup. And then this mad conference league could be like whoever else fancies it.
You still don't understand what it is.
Then from 3rd to 6th, go and have fun in a conference league if you want to play in Europe and make some money. Like do that. But that trophy cabinet for me, like as a guy that's played a professional club before, I've played. I that would be what I would want. I said to you about managers as well before. I know we're comparing Klopp and Pep, but there's something about Mourinho for me. Like you're doing a Mourinho career on FIFA, and like to me, I've always wanted to be a foreigner playing in another country. I was lucky enough to go and play in Cyprus for a bit and live that dream for a little while. And if I was to have won a cup there or something, like I've won an international cup, like Mourinho's won Italy, he's won a league in Spain, he's won Premier League trophies, he's won the Portuguese trophy. Like I would rather have a career like that, where I'm winning trophies in multiple countries than just one, dominating the English league all the time. And I know that a lot of people aren't like that, but that's what I would have.
I'd go. I think if you're going to emulate anybody, but like Klopp, you're going to sprinkle of all over. Pep's completely dominated.
Everywhere he's been.
Yeah, each domestic. But I think you look at Mourinho, he's done it all over the place. Yeah. And I think if you go in Klopp versus Pep, I think Mourinho wins.
It is mad. It is mad to say that.
I'm trying to get his trophy all up as we're talking.
Yeah. Well, to answer the first question that you said, is Pep all day? And I know that people. I know that people love Klopp, and I love what he's done, especially at Dortmund, mate. Like I really did like what he built over at Dortmund. And what he's built at Liverpool as well.
I think now he's got his eyes started out, his gnashes, he's lost a bit.
He's not got that edge anymore.
No.
Stop smoking, that's what
he don't look like a neurotic looking coach on sidelines who's going to lose his shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you've got to take your hat off for what he's done. But the fact that people try and put Pep down based on the amount of money that he's got, or the clubs or the teams that he's inherited, like it baffles me. And do you know what else baffles me? What they forget, all the stuff that these people that bash Pep forget. Do you know what I mean? Like they forget that Barcelona was going through a transition period.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. They had Busquets, Iniesta, and Xavi, but the rest of that squad was aging. Most of the team had been changed, and a lot of people forget that he brought through half of his La Masia side.
Yeah, so he was Barcelona B, wasn't he?
He was Barcelona B for 6 years,
yeah.
And he brought half of them kids. He trained Iniesta. Do you know what I mean? He trained PK at a time. He trained Messi for most of it. That when he came into the Barcelona first team, after right guard left, he said that Messi is going to lead this team. At the time, they had Thierry Henry, Samuel Eto'o and Ronaldinho up front, and he walked in and he said, this kid's going to take your places. Yeah. He told Ronaldinho, this kid's going to be your understudy, because when you leave, not if you decide to, when you leave, he's going to take over. So make him be the number 10, that better than what you are, and help him. Mate, like, what other manager could go into a club and go, right, Ronaldinho, who's my favourite player of all time, see you in a bit. You've got a year left with us. He tried to get rid of Eto'o in his first season.
Yeah. Eto'o can't stand
he tried to boot Eto'o in his first season, and Eto'o was like, no, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Henry found it difficult, by the way. Look at what he did in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he got rid of them, and then he brought in, his front line was David Villa, Messi, and Pedro.
Yeah.
That was his front line. So if I'm going to ask this to anybody, would you rather have Thierry Henry, Eto'o or Ronaldinho on paper, or would you rather have the other three? Everyone in the planet would say I'd rather have Eto'o, Ronaldinho 100%. And Thierry Henry. You wouldn't have gone, I'm going to take my chances on this kid called Pedro that I've never seen him. You wouldn't do that. So the fact that people think that he's inherited an unreal team, I argue with my cousin about this all the time. Like, the fact that you think that that's what he did at Barcelona and that's why they were so successful makes me know that you know nothing about international football. Mate, see how angry I'm getting?
I know, lucky I've never seen you so wound up.
It baffles me. Because I follow Spanish football, religiously follow it. I followed it all my life since I found it when I was like 12 or 13 years old. And what he did with that side was ridiculous. The players that he brought through, mate.
He stopped us winning fucking European trophy.
Yeah, he did. Half of the players that left him from that Barcelona, Bojan, tipped to be one of the world's greatest players, couldn't cut it at Stoke. He made that kid an unreal player, and when he left, he couldn't cut it at Stoke. No. Like he did that with loads of players left being coached by him and then fell flat after he left. The only club that didn't do that was Bayern Munich. And the only club where people have a case...
Bayern Munich, getting German well oiled.
Yeah.
It was just... Whatever that
happens...
Walking
and carry on. And that's what I would say. If you're gonna have that as your argument about Pep Guardiola inheriting teams, he did that at Barcelona, and he didn't win a Champions League.
If you look back at when he came to City that first season, it was shit. Everyone was like, "Oh, you can't hack it in English football." But then,
do you remember?
Once he's implemented,
you can't play that style of football in the Premier League. Now everybody's like, it's the best style of football.
Yeah, we need to play like say.
Mate, people do my head in. Honestly, when they look at it and they just go, I'm gonna make an assumption based off that. Yeah. When he got rid of Joe Hart, half the City fans was ready for him.
I remember.
I can't believe they've done that with Joe Hart. Joe Hart's the best keeper we've ever. Granted, at that point he was, but Pep Guardiola wanted a guy that could pass the ball out from the back.
But as well, at the same time, he had the money to do trial goalkeepers, innit?
Yeah. He must have brought in about 4 or 5.
Yeah, they brought in a couple.
Yeah.
But then, like I say, I mean, you can't... We were talking about a couple of podcasts ago of people making money. And if you've built a reputation up and you get to a club who's just give you what you want, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Because you've done the hard work at Barcelona B.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not,
Jose Mourinho, by the way, I finally got his thingies up. So Porto, he wins the Premier League twice. The Taça de Portugal, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, I can't pronounce anything fucking outside of English. And that's a struggle as well. The Super Taça
that's like the
Community Shield, Champions League, and the UEFA Cup, back to back
for Porto.
Yeah. Chelsea, 3 Premier Leagues in his 2 stints, FA Cup, Carabao Cup 3 times, and the Community Shield. Inter Milan, 2 Serie A's, 1 Coppa Italia, 1 Super Coppa Italiana, and a Champions League. Madrid, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Super Copa, United, EFL Cup, FA Community Shield and Europa League.
Which is mad, by the way.
And come second with a shit
squad. Which is mad, by the way. Which is mad.
And I think everybody now sees Mourinho from United to now and go, he's shit. But you go Mourinho from 2003 to 2016, fucking unreal.
Mate, talk about him losing it. He's lost it, mate. The last game I just watched him for Roma, he got sent off and booted the ball onto the pitch because he was fuming.
But what's mad is he's never played football.
Yeah.
That's the mad thing.
He was never a professional footballer.
He was understudy. No, he was a translator.
Semi-pro football and then translator with Bobby Robson.
Yeah, which is just that as a story. Just come into the translator and then
now you're one of the most decorative managers.
Champions Leagues.
One of the most decorative managers in world football.
But that for me. That's what you want. All over the place.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I know, proving it. And I know I went on a rant about Pep defending Pep, and people may say, yeah, but he's a City fan, and he's going to say that about Pep. If I was to choose what manager I would like to play under as a player, I'd go Mourinho all day. I would go Mourinho all day. Like, there's something about Mourinho that I like.
He's on the edge, isn't he?
There's something about him. Like, that I'd go to battle for. Do you know what I mean?
It's that siege mentality. Yeah. Remember in his little interviews after, he'd been fired off from Chelsea and United, just walking through like London with his trackies and just going getting a paper like, you're not asked me. I've earned about 100 million from getting sacked. Like,
well, that's what I mean. Like, if we've answered the question around Pep and Klopp, and don't get me wrong, they're both unreal. Like, you can't grumble with if you got either of them. If United got given any of them two, you'd be like, mate, I'll take them all day long. But for me, my favourite is Mourinho. Yeah,
100%.
The best at developing players, Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, so everyone's got their own their own thing.
Yeah.
I think with what happened with Mourinho at United was, because Mourinho is similar to where Pep was in. Give him the money, he'll do what you need him to do, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And United at that point were fucking shit. Like, didn't give him the centre back he needed. Didn't back him enough, and then obviously Mourinho, we know he's got a 3-year time bomb, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 to 3 years, he's fucking off.
He's ready
but it was a fun time.
Yeah.
That was I think it was the last time we won something as well.
Yeah, it was.
Mourinho. Yeah. So speaking of Mourinho, my Jose Mourinho career. So I always have to give an update, but I started off basically doing 2 to 3 years, win something, move on, and try and win the league in all the 5 main European leagues. So I started at Family League. I just randomised it, didn't I?
Yeah.
And Family League will come up in Portugal. So I got them, signed Gareth Bale. And
love that one though.
Signed Gareth Bale and Eric Bailly on a free. And then left them in Europa Conference League and moved to Monaco. Won everything there. Moved over to, I go to Bayern Munich on literally one season.
Yeah.
Won, what did I win?
You won the cup.
The cup and the league there. Got offered United. Went over to United, City, Chelsea when you're browsing for jobs.
Yeah.
So went for United. Won everything there, literally every single trophy. And then Barcelona come up, went there. First season, won the treble. So United, what is it? Copa del Rey, the league, Champions League. And then got sacked because I wanted to move to Italy then, right? And with FIFA you can browse jobs about 6 games in. So,
but let me say, so what he did was he had a player that he idolised. He wanted to keep the player.
It was Ronaldo regen.
Yeah. So what you wanted to do was you wanted to take that guy with you. So you went into the negotiations for a new contract. And you give him something like £1 million,
£1 million release clause.
£1 million release clause, and the club's got.
Worth about 9 million, by the way.
Hang on a second, this kid's one of our favourite players, so we sack it. They just terminated your contract straight away.
We're livid with it. Yeah. So I didn't end up going Juventus because that would have been an easy Serie A. But to be fair, I went Venice a few years ago, and then I found out Venice have got a team Vicenza, and it's one of them. I don't know if you have it. Italian football. I don't really watch it or anything. But I just had an affiliation with Vicenza. I loved the style, the kits, everything. I thought that's my adopted team anyway. Vicenza was there because when you get sacked, you get offered
about 20 clubs, don't you? Yeah.
So I thought I've got to take Vicenza. Completely shit, by the way. And I've got 8 years left before the career finishes because it's a 15
season
year span.
But you've adopted the Atletico Bilbao
style of only bringing youth players through. So technically, in inverted commas, from Venice, but because it's FIFA, it's just Italy based, and then only Italian players I can get. So I've had to go out in the transfer market. But to make it a little bit more realistic, is I've got a dice app on my phone, 1 to 6. So if you say I'm looking for a midfielder, 6 of them come up. Roll the dice. If a 6 comes up, it's from Venice. 1 to 5 is not, so I can only sign the 1 that I get a 6.
That's your regen players.
For me, mate, it's well hard. It pisses me off so much.
But that's your regen players, though. Like, not you don't mean like current Italian players.
No. Just regens. I mean, I think middle of last season I had to just go and get someone, but I had about 5 of them. Fancy him. Rolled it 4, can't get him. Because you've got to be disciplined with yourself as well. Anyway, I rolled a 6.
You could just buy it.
Yeah, buy anyone.
It's not that's not the point. Yeah.
Rolled a 6 and there's one guy out of the 5. I'm like, oh, I've got to go for him now. And I was like, fucking hell. Yeah. But it makes it so hard.
Yeah.
Makes it so hard. But what I've found is this year, because my youth are battered. You give us a really good tip, and to be fair, I said never fucking happens. Since
it does.
It does. I think I've signed my 3rd over $1 million youth player. They all come in at like 65s and then develop really quick.
Listen, if you want any tips on youth players or anything to do with FIFA career mode, and I mean down to the editing, when you're in the career, signing players, like give me a shout.
Yeah.
Because like I've got. It's just stuff because I spent so many hours playing it and
I'm
studying.
trying to find it. I'm sure there's somewhere where you can find how many hours you've played it.
I think it tells you somewhere.
There is somewhere.
So with the youth players that you're talking about, if you set up a youth academy and you start scouting youth players, what you want to look at is don't look at the ratings and what the rating could be. So it'll give you like a
parameter, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it says like this player will come in and he'll grow from 70 to 85%, and he might come in between 40 and 62%. Yeah. Ignore all of that. Don't look at any of that, because that's the first thing that you'll home in on. You'll look at the position that they are, then you'll look straight at what stats is he going to grow to or potentially grow to. Ignore that, because it chats rubbish to you. What you want to do, I've kept this quiet for so long because I don't want FIFA to change it.
You've not even told me.
Yeah,
we've been playing it for God knows how many years.
I've never wanted to say it to anybody. Ignore that and look at the value of the player. So if any player exceeds anything more than £1 million or $1 million or €1 million, whatever your currency is, if they exceed $1 million, they're going to come in around about 60s, and then they'll grow to whatever the level they say it's going to be. So then, if you've got a player that says he's going to potentially grow to 90, 99, and he's 40 to 60 that he's going to come in, but he's worth £300,000, he ain't growing that much.
No.
He's going to come in your squad at 40s to 50s rated, and he's good, and he's probably not going to grow much, and you're going to not have enough patience to grow him. You're not going to play him because he's not good enough. No. So you just get rid of him.
That was always my tack beforehand. Yeah. I'd have a look at the rating if it was over 80 and if it was over $250,000. If I put them two together and was like, right, he's bought, I say they come in at 40s and you're like 17 or at 52, and I'm like, mate, just fucking hurry up.
And lastly, like, get rid of them. Don't keep them there and wait and have a list of 20 or 18. Just get rid of them. Release them from your youth academy, because the more you release, the more of the £1 million hitters will come through. So I told you about that.
Yeah.
And you're getting more now.
So
right?
I've got, since you told me, I've had 4 scouting months, and I've had 3 over $1 million come in. It was like 90,000. I think it's fucking talking shit here. 300,000, and then like the 500,000s, but then you're getting 90,000 one, and then $1 million one. I was like, yes, get in. But support. The thing is, my youth academy is really small.
Yeah. Because
I usually have the full 16, but now I've just got rid of a load.
Yeah.
And just have a really small one.
Yeah.
But that's why, and then I had to dip into the transfer market last year.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because my principle is, if I need a centre back, I go to my youth. If I can't get anyone in the youth, then I go to the regens, and then if I can't get anyone there, if I'm not rolling 6s, I'll have to go to the transfer market.
But so they come. You've just got to be patient.
Yeah.
You've got to release them, so that you've not got 20 odd sitting in, or 15 or 10 sitting in. If you've got about four or five sitting in there, then when the next lot of crop come through every month, you'll start to see more £1 million ones. And to be fair, if you get 4 a season, that's good going. Yeah. Because they're going to come in your club, especially if you've got
for my level. I was
just going to say to you, if you're doing a career where you're managing not so good sides like a 3-star club or a 3.5 star, 2 to 3 star club, then these guys will come in at a 65 rating, 69 rating, some 70 ratings. You'll just put them at 16, 17, you'll just put them straight into your first team because your squad isn't good enough to have that in there.
Do you know what I like about this year as well? So I've done my first season, took over in like October, so I've done like 3/4 of a season, did a full season, so that's when I did the Atletico Bilbao, got my youth going, and so my second season last year was I got all my youth through and I was just loading them out. Mate, some of them have grown by like 9-10 points.
Wow.
Which is mad, isn't it? Like, because you usually you used to set them on loan, they come back the same and you just think, what's the point?
Yeah.
But I check them now, some of them are like, well, my average now, it used to be about 60 odd, and up to about 75 average now. So first season was, what was it? Don't finish at lower half. Second season, finish mid-table. Last season, Europa spot. Right, so we don't know how we've both finished our seasons.
No, we
anyway.
don't know.
So at one point I was fifth, and Serie A is so tight at all times. I was 2 points off third, but the only thing I've not won is the Europa League, so I'm trying to manipulate it for me to get in the Europa League, fuck myself up a little bit, because I thought, right, and what I've done this year, and I feel like I've cheated because I always just watch it because I think that's how your team is.
Yeah.
But I've jumped in because I've had to jump in because I've only got now. Not that I'm feeling rushed, but I've only got 6 seasons left before the game finishes, and I'm like, if I let it naturally flow, it's not going to have enough time for me to do what I want to do. So I jumped in on loads of games last year, just as well to bring up the morale, because the morale was shit. Getting heat left, right, and centre of everyone. So thinking, right, get him in. Sharpness was shit. And then anyway, last game of the season, there was Roma and
Salamanca,
yeah, them. I needed to better Romas to qualify for Europa League. Prelude to this, I had the final in Coppa Italia against Napoli, who I've had the fucking number over for 2.5 years. Not beat me. I accidentally sold my fucking best striker to him because I pressed accept instead of reject. Oh, fuming. Anyway, they dipped me 3-0 in the fucking final. Sterling. I was trying to crop a soccer him. You know what I mean? You're just trying to get him. I'll injure him. So I got beat because I thought that's my route into Europa League. Didn't happen. Comes down to the final game. Drawing 1-1, 60 minutes. I thought, right, I'll jump in. Mate, I fucking hit the post, hit the crossbar. Fucking, usually where they bury me bottom corner, they're fucking going off for throw-ins and shit like that. So anyway, it comes up Sampdoria 2, Roma 1. Buzzy. Forgot all about the team that you pronounce. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, they leapfrogged me into the Europa League, and I fucking ended up in 9th.
Wow.
Oh, so fuming. So I'm not qualified. So I was expecting a load of shit. Anyway, they're like, "Oh, we're absolutely delighted with your progress."
So you finished mid-table.
I finished
not going
9th,
to Europe.
1 point off.
Yeah.
1 point. I'm thinking, do you ever do it? And you come in and think, if I scored that at such a point,
and there's games where you play where you're winning and then you end up drawing. And you're like, if I would have won that. Yeah.
So I ended up there. But I got into the Coppa Italia, which I thought was quite decent. And now, do you ever get it when you're with a bit of a project? This is my first project. Because I said last week that's what was missing a bit, like a bit of a project, where I feel like this team's going to do something now because all my youth players are coming through. They're all 70s now, 80s, high 80s on some of them, and like it's moved on. And I'm thinking, because I always have a look at the pre-season tournaments.
Yeah.
And I never play them. I just quick sim them and just use them for sharpness. And it always gives me a tell. So I got into semi-finals, whereas I've been knocked out in groups.
So you think that this is the year?
I think this is. I can see all my players coming through. All my loan players have like come back from like 50s up. Some of them are like close to 70.
Yeah.
So
you've got some depth.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
It's took a couple of seasons. It's been frustrating as well.
Yeah.
It's because you're playing with like 53s or like early 60s, and you're like, for fuck's sake, the shit. The young as well. Like, you don't remember. I know it's FIFA, but it's mirrored that well. So my objection this year was I had to sign a veteran.
Right.
Because my team's so young. So I've had to go into free agents. I thought I'll just get a 30-odd and needed a centre back. So I've just signed I rolled a 6 on one of them. I'm like, right, you'll do, mate. Objection ticked off. Yeah. I thought I don't want to piss the board off
and get sacked or whatever.
But this want me to finish mid-table again.
Yeah.
I thought, good, that's what I want. That.
Yeah. Because so the aim's Europe. So
the aim.
You was close to getting into Europe. And
I've been in the European spots, but at the back end of the season quite a bit, and then I've failed off
with my Malaga career. So mine's been a little bit different than what you've done. I've just got one club. Because I never do just stay with one club. I dart from one to the other. And what I've done is I'm in my 6th season with Malaga. So I started in the Segunda Division, got promoted into the La Liga, and I've been in La Liga for 5 seasons. The first season, no money. I had $1 million to spend. Struggled, just survived. I think I finished 15th because it was so tight on the last day of the season. And then I had a massive rush of 4 games. Then tried to fight to get into Europe, didn't get into it. Did very similar to the season that you just said you had. I've never done well in the Copa del Rey. I've always gone into the net. I've first round won, second round get a big hit or get smacked.
Right.
It's usually Barcelona, Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid. Valencia have been smacked off. Sevilla have been battered off. And then in this 6th season, I wanted to finish it for the podcast, but I'm in May and I've got four league games left. I'm in the I've finally made it into the Europa League in that 5th season.
Get it in. Was it Arsenal you sent me?
So
semis.
I was in quarterfinals against Arsenal. That was the last time I spoke to you. So the first game in the quarterfinals. By the way, in the league now, so the highest I've ever finished in those 6 seasons. My squad is nice. Is 6th or 5th to get me into Europe this time. This year I'm second.
Right.
Second with 4 games in the league to go. I played Arsenal in the quarterfinals in April. The first leg was at my place, and we won 3-0. And in the second leg, we got beat 3-1. But we qualified.
Yeah.
So and we got in, and we just played against Nice from France in the first leg at home, and I got beat 2-1.
Did you? At
home, and then I've got the second leg left, semi-final. And I've got the second leg, 4 games, and then hopefully a final if I can.
Who's the other teams you know?
It is Porto and Tottenham.
Nice.
So Porto and Tottenham. So I've got either Porto and Tottenham in the final of the Europa League if I beat Nice, where I'm 2-1 down, which is nice. But I'm second. There's 4 games left. Barcelona are top on 79 or 89 points, and then I'm on 60 something.
Right.
79. I'm on 62. And then below me is Atletico Madrid on 60, 61 or 60.
Right, so it's
then it's Real Madrid on 60. Then it's Valencia and Seville. So I could literally in 4 games go from being qualifying for the Champions League in season 7 to being back in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Like it's that tight. But what I've liked is the progression of this is usually when you play a FIFA career, for those guys out there that play FIFA career, in 3 seasons you can end up being the champions of the league. Whereas this one's been an absolute slug. I mean, I'm going into season 7 and now I'm only breaking into the top 4.
Yeah, it's slowly, isn't it?
But like I said, I had no money, did I?
No.
I had £1 million.
And I think as well, when you get fully attached, and then you're like, when you do eventually, because you will eventually win the league.
Yeah.
You think, right? I bit the pinnacle type thing.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to do because like, I'm 7 seasons in next season, so I've still got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Still got 7 seasons left.
Right.
6 or 7 seasons. So I'm going to leave and go somewhere else. Once I've won the league, maybe we'll try and win the Champions League as well and take Malaga, because Malaga's history, they've never won anything. So if I win the Europa League, I've done something that no one's ever done in my eyes. You know what I mean? Then I'll go for the league and I'll be in the Champions League for the first time. Do that and then jet off and find another project, another team to build up in the league.
I just got offered Everton.
You don't want
this one.
that.
No,
With what
I'm
you've
not,
got now.
I'm not leaving now.
No.
This is me now till the year 2037. I'm 31.
Yeah, well we've talked about with the next career that we're going to do. Maybe put a poll out there, but it's funny that because we take up little projects, don't we?
Yeah.
So like with yours, going through the Atletico Bilbao kind of style. Like I told you about a MLS one that I did, where there's, if you look at the restrictions that MLS teams have based on financial fair play in real life, if you played to that, every year you'd have to sell your best players.
Yeah.
So every year you'd have to have a new group of players in, and that's what the MLS is like. If you look at the MLS, they have 3 designated players. So I think I'm going to do an MLS one.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm going to do next. I have 2 running, don't I? So I'm going to do an MLS one, and then I'll do the creative one with you as well.
I don't know that if after this Vicenza one, I'll have to just take a sabbatical.
Like Pep?
Yeah.
No, because
I've done 15 full seasons and it's like,
you need to definitely do that creative team one.
Yeah.
100% you need to do it. I'm going to do that creative team one as well, because it'll be good for us to compete each week to see who's
the only thing I've not done on FIFA, one is my usual, starting off at League 2 going up, that's what I always
It's the best thing to do on a creative league. Yeah.
But I think I've not done a creative team either, so I'll combine the 2.
Yeah.
And then by that point, really, we should be looking at FIFA 23.
Yeah, I'll jump on that with you,
Yeah.
and then I'll run the MLS one alongside it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
Right, but yeah, we have chatted today, Lovey.
Exceeded the time. haven't we?
Exceeded. I know, yeah. That tagline of within 45 minutes went out the window after the first episode.
We'll chat. It's because we get giddy about FIFA.
Yeah.
That's all. So next week maybe the tale won't be a long one. It'll be Pierre Van Hooijdonk. Yeah, he was a nutcase. Right. On to FIFA.
Went Nottingham Forest. Fucked it off.
Yeah.
See you in a bit. Right, if you're listening to this, you enjoy us, get on our socials. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we record this as well for YouTube. So because obviously YouTube at the minute's now massive for podcasts. So if you want to watch us, just basically sat across the table.
You got to see our heads, which
yeah.
you probably don't.
Lovey in his Inter Miami kit.
Yeah.
Get on the YouTube. It's Football Man Cave right across everywhere. Get involved as well. We really want to try and build a community of FIFA career mode players, don't we? So if you are listening, you play FIFA career mode to our extent, or even a little bit less. Give us a follow, give us an inbox, and tell us your stories as well. Cause obviously, we want to start knowing what people are doing. If there's any
careers that we
any
can
careers,
pick up,
yeah, basically. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So next week, Pierre Van Hooijdonk.
Yeah.
In and out, 45 minutes. We'll see.
Done and dusted.
Right. I'll see you later.